Marathon is so dead and such a massive failure that the literally dead and abandoned game called Destiny 2 just completely eclipsed and destroyed its player numbers. Keep in mind, this is the game Bungie decided to just toss in the goddamn bonfire in the name of this garbage dumpster fire succeeding. Oh, it is not a good day to be a Marathon fan or to be Marathon in general. And boys, that's exactly what we like here. Absolutely, they make no mistake. Here, we enjoy the failures of those who deserve. And by the way, boys, Marathon, oh, it's not looking good for Marathon. It's betraying its most arduous fans. It's betraying the pronoun mafias, and it's doing a lot. It's doing a lot. I skipped this week's Tuesday's Marathon video. I know. I'm a horrible person, but it is what it be. So we're making it up for with some extremely spicy Marathon news. Look at these graphs, boys. These graphs are not real. Marathon has to be botted at this point. Bungie is probably so fucking desperate that they are botting Marathon. I fully believe this, because these graphs make no sense. Look at this. It's the same peaks. For literally the past whatever days, Marathon has had the same exact player number. And this doesn't make sense in, I don't know, like 5 fucking different ways, which we're all gonna cover, by the way. Look at this, look at this. So, first of all, what we notice here, that there is a Thursday peak, when Thursday is Marathon's new peak, and it's barely there. It is barely there. It's literally less than 700, no, it's actually around 700 people. 700 people. It's pathetic. These are not numbers. And then there's no dip, there's no going up, there's nothing. These numbers effectively are completely static. And let me tell you, that's impossible. Marathon, for all of its existence, has had a situation where the peak previously for the first part of its life cycle was on Friday. And then, you know, it was pretty decent on Saturday and Sunday, but the peak was on Friday. And Thursday was when it starts to go up pretty decent. And then Monday, it's a landfill. That was Marathon for the longest time. Now, since the other half roughly here, Marathon has always pretty much then peaked on Thursdays. This was the new wait a fucking, this is not even Thursday's peak. I didn't know this. This is Thursday. The peak fucking just moved to Wednesday. I did not know this. Oh my god. We moved for no reason. Again. And then there's nothing? You're telling me nothing's happening? And by the way, if that's not bad already, look at this. Look at this. Look at these peaks. 3 a.m. for our American friends. This is 8 p.m. for our American friends. Then for some reason it gets equal, and then it doesn't. Let me tell you what these peaks represent if you're not aware, by the way. These are different time zones, which means they pretty much represent bigger swaths of the world on different places. America, China, somewhere around Australia, but not Australia because Australia is irrelevant. You know, maybe New Zealand. No, that's too complicated. People don't know what that is. The place with a lot of sheep. Okay? Stuff like that, you know? And you're telling, look at this graph. This is bullshit. Let me tell you that this is the biggest bullshit I have seen in my life. Because this, you know what this graph represents currently? So this was how the graph looks always. I can't show it to you here because it's gone. But this is how the graph has always looked, okay? This right here, what you see right here. This. You know? You can very easily see that there's, you know, a kind of peak around about the 8 a.m. UTC timeline, and then there's a peak around 2 or 3 a.m. Oh, you can also say 1 a.m. honestly. Those were the two peaks. So now it magically for 3 days straight just was equal? You understand what that actually means, right? Let me tell you what that means in case you don't, because this is a little bit more complicated and interesting. This means that the people here who didn't like Marathon that much, for these 3 days, suddenly just magically decided, you know what? We actually really like Marathon now. And so for 3 days, this group of people decided to play Marathon a lot. And at the same freaking time, this group of people who were previously at the 1, 2, 3 a.m. time decided, you know what? We don't actually like Marathon that much for 3 days. For 3 days. This has happened 2 times before, but it has been only, I think, 1 or 2 days. And in general, at that time, the statistics didn't look this sus, because this is completely fucking fake. It's unmoving. This shit is unmoving. Marathon had a very decent time period where it was not losing that much players. Roughly, I would say, I think it was this period right here. And then it started to decay pretty fast. But now, it's unmoving. There's no highs, there's no fucking lows anymore. It's just unmoving. And I already wanted to talk about this because look at this. This is the Monday Fun Day peak. I already wanted to talk about this, honestly, but then I decided not to. Look at this. There was supposed to be a drop here. It has historically always been there. No matter how small or whatever, but it's been there and it's been visible. But suddenly it's just not there. There's no other way to explain this but botting. This is absolutely, completely insane. Now, granted, we did discuss the idea of the bottom. You know, these things do exist. Typically, it's the same. In gaming numbers, it's the same effectively as stock prices. Think Bitcoin or something like that. Where do you think Bitcoin can go the lowest when it cannot go lower? The same thing can be arguably used for player numbers. And I said that there is a chance that it's going to be 10k, and then this kind of happens. But looking at the graph, it looks too suspicious. I don't think this is happening. I think this is more fake. I think the graph should be lower. Even though one of the big things about botting is the fact that the lowest point is not too far from the highest point in these games. Like, for example, Diablo 4, which is a very obviously botted game. But for Marathon, no, it actually has very big dips and dives, which is strange. But then again, it has also strange things like this. This is the update. This is Tuesday when people updated. By the way, for people who talked about the last video, they said that whatever my point was, that can be explained by Tuesday's update. Good guess, but I already considered it. I didn't talk about it. That's on me, boys. I'm sorry. I should have talked about it, but I don't think that's that because it's never that big. The Tuesday is never that big. But for those people who mentioned that the thing that I said is kind of hard to explain could be Tuesday, good guess, boys. I don't think it's the right one, but that's probably the best guess. But again, I don't think it's the right one. But I should have mentioned it, so that's on me. In any case, look at this Tuesday also. There's a drop here. Maybe it's some kind of server malfunction. We'll never know because no one plays fucking Marathon, so no one can tell us. And then it just goes up and then it goes down, but not even to 0? What? How is this possible? We also haven't seen anything like that in an update. It always goes down to 0, but this time it kind of didn't. I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea how this is possible. But yeah. And things for Marathon are not looking good, okay? Man, I don't know who Alinea Analytics is, but my god, I am so good. These people all should wake up and fucking call and beg me to share my knowledge with them. This is a whole fucking firm of analysts, literally barely dribbling out what I have been already predicting for months. Okay? Another one where we pat ourselves on the back, boys. Back in March, the same firm estimated that the game had sold around 1.2 million copies by March 20th. That means Marathon added roughly 300k sales over the following 2 months, which is horrible. And by the way, there's a lot of talk about 007 First Light. About, 1.5 million copies in the first 25 hours is good. No, it's not. Because what matters is the follow-up. And the way that I said that Marathon is a disaster is because, one, the player peak was not good. I said that they have sold 1 million copies on release, probably. And by the end of the first month that they are maybe starting to approach 1.5 million. That was my prediction. But I said that they probably have not. That they probably have not. That they're gonna struggle to get 1.5 million sales probably until the end of the year at this rate. Now, granted, it seems like they're actually doing better than that. They're probably gonna be officially hitting 1.5 million sales faster than the end of the year, I would assume, because they're doing desperate shit now, by the way. And yeah, it is not looking good for Marathon. Reported sales today 1.5 million. No idea where they're getting this number. That's not the official numbers, by the way. But yes, 1.5 million sales this year should be achievable for Marathon, I believe. But that is not good. And again, that's the same reason why currently... Oh, I thought that it bopped out. Actually, let's look at Path of Exile 2. And oh, look at that. Beautiful! That's the new season, boys. That is the new season. An actual good and fun game, okay? Path of Exile 2, love it. Great game. Absolutely beautiful. Doing absolute big numbies. Good games are good, and we like good games, don't we? But anyway, back to this. For example, first, maybe you didn't watch it, but I did a video yesterday talking about 1.5 million sales not being good in 24 hours, because this is not a graph that is actually symbolizing that it's going to have more sales in the future. And that's why I said that Marathon also is in a bad position, because it's never going to sell the fucking numbers that they require even after. The early sales for games matter massively, and they need to be your fucking 3 million sales week 1. They need to be your 10 million sales in a month, because I don't mention this enough, but I do mention it time to time. We are currently living in a time where gaming is extremely hype sale driven. So all of your 90% of your year 1 sales are gonna be the first month. Sometimes even more. And after that, it's just completely downhill. Previously, like a year, 2 years ago, it went like this. The game releases, bam, and then it slowly drops off. But now, with all of the YouTubers, all of the everythings, when IGN gives something a 10, to steer clear of it. When SkillUp says a game is really good, you shouldn't buy it. With all of this, people are now, again, all of your sales, first month, pretty fucking much first week, most of the time. And after that, it's a collapse. So, yeah, Marathon selling maybe 1 million sales in the first fucking day is not good. They needed literally 5 million sales to even have a shot. Marathon also is so desperate that they're gonna do a free-to-play week on June 2nd or 9th. If you want to try the game, go ahead, try it. Honestly, if anyone's interested, you should. Because Marathon is changing, okay? I don't think this is gonna be enough to save it, but the devs are desperate. Let me show you how desperate, in fact. Do you see this picture? Have you noticed what changed? This is an old one. He, him. This is a new one. No pronouns. Ain't that odd? That's right. Marathon and Bungie are so desperate that they are cutting off a lot of the WoW garbage. For example, this, by the way. This is Marathon Season 2 in June. 7 seconds. Tell me what you see. Not a lot. But that not a lot tells us a lot, actually. Look at that design. This is not your typical marathon slop fucking clown fiesta garbage. It's not. It's... You can tell that these... First of all, you can tell that these are men. You cannot tell the gender of any other marathon character. But now it's clear. These are men. They're strategically moving. Granted, they also have light shining like retards, but you can't get everything. It's Bungie at the end of the day. But you know, you can tell that they're men. They don't look like clowns. They look normal. You can literally see musculature. This is a first. Marathon has never had a character that looks like an actual gender. Okay? And this is it. This is a massive change. So honestly, boys, if you want to try Marathon on the second, I'm not even blaming you. I'm not even blaming you. And that is almost pretty much it. This is the last one. This is just a fun send-off.
The counter is that Sony would be proven right by the Marathon pick, and they only invest more in Marathon. That might be true, but this seems like the least worst option, since the other one could mean Bungie closing altogether. Titanfall players, how you guys doing over there? Did playing Apex work out? It's a good thing you played a lot of Apex. You know, committed many years. I know it's a sore subject. You see where I'm coming from this? At one time, I saw the same narrative being peddled. Oh, you play enough Apex. Well, eventually that will allow the studio to make another Titanfall. And what happened? Well, we just got more Apex. And not that I'm taking anything away from Apex. Apex, well, it's a wildly successful game, unlike Marathon. I know. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings today. I'm really not, but it's true. Now, some people want that. They want Bungie to be punished, both for how the game has been neglected in favor of Marathon since the final shape, especially, and for the fact that Marathon now has Sony's favor, while their favorite game is dead. Now, I'm not telling anyone what to feel. I, too, have that anger, as this is the most significant game of my entire career. My life, really. And losing it is devastating. But trying to be pragmatic, I don't think that wishing death upon Marathon helps the situation.
It does. Vote with your wallet. And if you're not, and if you're already voting with your wallet, vote with your voice. Saying shit is the right call. If you don't like Marathon, if you're not willing to give it a chance, tell Bungie to make Destiny 3 because you're not playing Marathon. That's how life goes. That's how this works. Again. So, that's pretty much it. And Marathon's dead. No one's talking about it. Like, you look at Twitter, it's like, there's nothing. There's literally no posts about it. It's pathetic. It is truly, truly pathetic. Well, anyway, that was as expected as it gets, honestly. Thanks for watching. Bye!